Do you have a Let's Play channel and often find yourself not knowing what games to play? Do you often find yourself turned away from large price tags or simply can't afford or run top tier games? Well, then this video aims to help you out with the top 5 free, easy to run Let's Play games for Let's Players. Do you need a little weirdness to round out your day? Well, Save the Date could be one of the many indie titles on this list to help you out. Save the Date is a very simple looking visual novel about going on a date with a girl. However, the date is destined to go awry as any number of unfortunate incidents befall the two of you. Anything from patios collapsing to ninja attacks to giant sea monsters having a taste for your girl can happen here, and there's very little you can do about it, at first. How can you stop this amazingly bad streak of luck? In a stroke of perhaps divine intervention, your character will remember these past incidents, and every time you start over, you get more options available that can help you save the date. What begins as a funny, somewhat ironic story slowly turns to something very meta, as you try to fight against the game's many bad endings to reach a happy conclusion. It's not a very long title, the whole experience lasting a bit under an hour, but it's worth seeing through the end, if only to see what insane, unfortunate happenstance happens next. When you first boot up Tower to Heaven, it looks innocent enough. It looks like a Game Boy title, with a black and green color palette, an 8-bit color style, and a chiptune soundtrack to greet you. Of course, initial looks can always be deceiving. And what looks as a simple platformer turns into a brutal endurance run. See, the tower doesn't really want you to climb it. Every time you climb a floor, some new rule will be added that will make you forced to abide by it. The rules start off simple enough. Perhaps you can no longer move left, or touch black blocks. Well, technically you can still do these things, but the second you do, you'll be killed where you stand, and you have to restart the floor you're on all over again. These rules will keep piling up, one floor on top of the other, until you're so heavily restricted that even one small misstep will end your avatar's life and you'll have to restart the arena. Mix that in with some devious level design that sets you up to break the rules, and you'll have yourself a difficult, but fair platformer worth a playthrough. Super Crate Box, in its simplest form, is pure arcade fun distilled into a unique form that makes it incredibly addicting. Like many arcade titles, the goal of Super Crate Box is to get a high score. However, you get that high score not by simply defeating foes, but by collecting crates. Each crate gives you 1 point, so it's not unusual to end with low scores in the single digits. The trick is, though, that every time you pick up a crate, you swap your old weapon for a new, randomized one. Because of that, Super Crate Box has a bit of fair underlying strategy to it. Not all weapons are created equally, and it's up for you to decide when's the best time to go after another crate. If you have a particularly effective weapon, you're going to want to keep it to clear out the ever-increasing amount of foes in the screen. However, doing so makes you forego picking up any other crates, ruining your score. But just running around picking up crates isn't the best idea either. If the next crate spawns in a particularly difficult enemy, you're stuck with a weapon that makes it difficult to get past them. There's a high chance you'll get hit and die before you can produce any crates. And so it becomes a matter of risk and reward. Picking the right time to grab a crate and when to hold back and thin the monster population is key to getting a high score. Oh, and for those that don't want to play just for a high score, the scores also unlock a variety of goodies, including new stages, weapons, and characters. The typical short time it takes for a game to begin and end adds to the fun, and it quickly becomes an addicting game to play in short bursts, or even long bursts if you so do desire. I would be very surprised if you haven't already heard of the game I Want to Be the Guy by now. This indie game takes the spirit of difficult platformers like Super Meat Boy and VVVVVVV and takes it to an absolute extreme. You'll die in this game, and you'll die a lot. Every step you take in I Want to Be the Guy is another round of Russian roulette. What will kill you this time? Will it be that seemingly innocent and in the background cloud, or will that tree suddenly become sentient and out for blood? It's certainly not for everybody, but those who stick with I Wanna Be the Guy beyond the first frustration-inducing screen will no doubt find an enjoyable and, dare I say, fun experience. Much akin to other platformers that take pride in killing you over and over and over and over again, it's most likely a parody of those types of games. And as you slowly learn to be cautious of everything, you'll get to see some ridiculous and outrageous deaths that are downright hilarious. Rarely does a game make you look forward to dying, only to see what the game tricks you with next. It can be difficult to find good arcade racers nowadays. Racing titles in recent years usually fell into one of two categories. Either hyper-realistic games like Gran Turismo that focus on exact stats and realistic car physics, or kart racers like Mario Kart and its kin that throw any shred of realism out the window for a more fun, less skilled-based type of racer. Gone are the days of wacky, outrageous racers like California Rush and Crush in USA, which combined the two to make an experience perfect for the arcades. Thankfully, students at Dagapen seem to have remembered these days of old arcade racers and created Nitronic Rush. A small admittance first, though. This game isn't technically a racer as we would normally view it, namely because you don't race other cars. The creators instead labeled it as survival driving game, as the point of it is to dodge the numerous obstacles that will litter the neon-lit track and rack up a high score while doing so. It makes for a very fun game, and though it might not be the exact same as those arcade racers of yesteryear, it definitely captures that same spirit while offering a unique experience. This has been my first top, well, anything, quite frankly. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to subscribe. Have a good one.